that's what XA looks like, and it's repeating itself every pi seconds, just over every 3 seconds. And notice it's got this sort of behavior which we did observe. And the other graph, if we now look at that over more than one period, what's noticeable is these long dwell times. You know, it's a peculiar shape, really. It goes flat, those situations. And what's that saying about the behavior of this onion round about that time? It's staying still for that period of time. It's hovering, or it's dwelling. So should we test this out? Do you believe it all? No? Right. Fair enough. So let's move this over. Right. Let's go for this one first. What I'll do, I'll put that up in that direction so that we can try and let the onions follow, well, not in time, but certainly we can judge the positions of it. So what I'll try and do, I'll just bring down one period's worth of graph. Now I'll try and center this on here. Now, this is the moment of truth. This is the graph for XA, which is the top onion. So what this is predicting is that if I pull these two aside, let me take that graph down a bit. If I pull this aside, and the both onions are displaced by 1 unit, and I'm going to release them from rest, this predicts that this onion will follow that curve. And that's time going down, but all we'll see is it should swing out to that position, come back in, not come back into here, and then swing out again, and then finally return here. Anybody taking bets? Anybody willing to put a bet? Either way. Who's got faith? Who hasn't? And you haven't been primed, have you? Right, okay. Was that a pin? Okay, here we go. It's not a fluke. Follows it. It's pretty close, isn't it? Pretty close. Notice also, I'll let it run for 2 periods. It is periodic, because it'll go through that first, and back, and then again, and back. And just to show it's exactly periodic, when I catch it, notice that one will stop without me catching it. One more time. Let's look at the other one with this sort of dwell time. What I've got to do now is to move this down here. It's more difficult to follow this because I can't get the board out of the way. That's black, so you just have to follow this motion on the green board. If you can't see it, just stand up for a few minutes. What this is predicting is that when I release the onions again, you're going to concentrate on the bottom one. So this should go out to the far extreme. Can you see that bottom loop? It should go out to the far extreme there, which is the same as that. And when it comes back here, you've got this dwell time at roughly the same position, well, at the same position we released it. So it's predicting that this is going to fly out quite a long way and then come back and dwell. And the period should be pi. So I'll let it run so you can see it, and we'll just check the period. See the dwell? Yeah. I mean, obviously it goes out of this motion after a while because of the things we've neglected, like air resistance, and this onion is spinning. Should we just time, what, about 5? I don't think it'll go for 10. Just to check the period of the whole thing. So, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop running. 5. What's that? Right. Is that about right? 5 lots of pi, 15, put something. So again, even though it's sort of fairly haphazard motion, or apparently so, it is periodic. And just to finish, if we look at these two things together, if I've put them on the same graph here. I've put XA and XB, and it allows us to sort of maybe see the shape of the two of the motion together. There's the initial position where they're both released from one unit. This predicts that XA comes in first while XB is still hanging around, while the bottom onion is still hanging around. So this rushes to the center. It then goes out to the far side, and in the meantime the bottom onion is coming through the center. It then comes back to the center, the top onion, and the bottom onion swings out quite a long way. And then the whole thing is symmetric about this line, so therefore you just reverse this diagram to get the second part until they both meet again at the end of the period. So you've got to put both onions together now and try see if you can identify that motion. See, that top onion's around about the middle when the bottom onion's gone out. Okay. Are you convinced? Yeah. Good, good. Okay. What you should take out of this, I think, is not the onions, but this sort of very important principle that the general motion is a linear combination of the normal mode motions. And that's true in more general systems, just in the same way as a note can be made up of harmonics. Engineers do vibration analysis on systems by finding all the normal modes. And by adding those together in an appropriate combination, you can look at the sort of vibration of the whole component. Okay? So that's just about it, but I think if you are passing through Bridge of Allen, you should show some appreciation to Mrs. Macpherson.